Hello, welcome to game 2 against Pico Paco. I like that name. So here we have a kingdom with invest in it. This is very good because I want to learn how to use that landscape card properly. As for the action cards, there are a lot of draw options. Embassy, Swashbuckler, Ranger, Slay, even. Actions are lacking, right? Almost. We have Lost Arts, so we could stick Lost Arts on Swashbucklers, for example. Draw through the whole deck with those. And there are a couple cards that work well with that kind of deck here. Haven works nicely, Royal Galley works nicely with that. Even Necromancer can work nicely with that. Idol as well. So it seems like you are going to build some kind of Lost Arts deck here. The choice really comes down to what draw card do you stick your Lost Arts token on. Is it going to be Embassy, Swashbuckler, or Ranger? My thought going in here was it should be the Ranger because the Ranger is the only card with plus buy in the kingdom. You have some gain and develop, but you could have more gains if you have more buys, which only the Ranger gives you. So that was my plan going in here. I want to get Ranger early. I want to get Lost Arts early, and the opening that gets me there, I think, is going to be Silver and Ranger. I could see other openings as well, something with Develop and Haven, or Develop Necromancer, Develop Invest even, because, okay, it seems obvious Ranger is the pile for the Lost Arts, but people don't have to do that. They could, play with Swashbuckler if you invest on the Rangers. A better invest target, I think, here is Royal Galley. People want Royal Galleys in this kingdom for sure, regardless of what draw they choose. So I get my Ranger and my Silver. Pico Paco does the same thing, except um, I thought they bought the Ranger on turn 2, so I thought they mirrored my opening, but no, they exiled the Ranger via invest. That does come back later on. Uh, 2 for me here is going to be a Haven. That works well with the Ranger Lost Arts deck. Pico Paco gets a develop. I also want to develop at some point. Not now. I rather get the Idol. I do have some plans to junk my opponent with idols, but for now it's mostly a Silver to help me hit Lost Arts. Okay, so we pass it back to Pico Paco. What do they do on turn 4? They pick up a Swashbuckler. So it seems like they want to put the Lost Arts token on Swashbuckler, which I understand. Swashbuckler does have the treasure chest. It'll gain you heaps of gold at some point during this game. But I thought they were going to do a lot of Swashbucklers with a single Ranger at the end. Remember, I thought they bought the Ranger still. I get up to my Lost Arts here. This could have been double Ranger, because I had 8 and 2 buys there. But I think the Lost Arts token first, then the many Rangers after. So I go ahead, I commit, and get a Haven as well. So I show Pico Paco, look, I'm doing it. You could invest in it if you like. I'll just bite the bullet, is what I'm saying, but with that play. So Swashbuckler comes out for them. No coffer for them because their discard pile is empty. They pick up another Swashbuckler. So second Swashbuckler, okay, that indicates to me they are going for the Swashbuckler Lost Arts deck as opposed to the Ranger Lost Arts deck. Store a copper here because I don't need it. I buy our second Ranger here. To my surprise, they drew 2 cards. Then I realized that they actually exile the Ranger via invest, so I have to be a little judicious, think a little more anytime I want to purchase a Ranger. So now I have 2 of them in the deck. Pico Paco trashes an estate, converts it into a top deck Silver, picks up an Idol. I stole my Silver here. And here, okay, this was done out of spite, right? Because I was upset I didn't see the invested Ranger on their side, so I hastily invested on Swashbuckler on their side, but I think that's a reasonable play, even if I did it out of haste. They stick their token on the Lost Arts, so they commit to that, on the Swashbuckler, sorry, the Lost Arts token on the Swashbuckler, so they commit there. I get up to 8. think about province fleetingly, but that isn't right. Another idol is the way to go here, I think. Could be another ranger as well, but now I have the two idols. I have some threat of landing curses in their deck. Trashing isn't great here, just to develop. Royal Galley comes down for Pico Paco, the first one. I will get these rangers to draw me some cards here and actually set up for another turn. I get my develop finally, and instead of getting a Royal Galley at this point, I think I invest in the Royal Galley. So now I think I've invested in the two key piles that Pico Paco is interested in. So, just a little bit of a mental tax, if nothing else. Maybe. Alright, Swashbuckler comes down for them. Develop gets rid of another estate. Top decks the silver. Wind's Gift will draw them into that silver. Very nice combination of cards there. And they're thinking. And the reason why they're thinking is because I invested in Swashbuckler. I know they have money for Swashbuckler. Ordinarily, you snap by Swashbuckler here, I think. But they're thinking. Because, Invest does that to people, apparently. So what they can do instead is perhaps buy Galley. They could get another idol if they don't want to give me the two cards, right? But they do have to think, should I give him the two cards? I don't know. When is it okay to give him the two cards? Now? Next turn? I don't know. Investment is difficult. It is very tricky. In Dominion and in real life. So they go for a province. I was happy to see the province, right? I understand you don't want to buy Swashbuckler, but I think Idol and Galley are better options than Province at this point. But the Province sends a message to me that maybe they're content with two Swashbucklers. They'll get the treasure chest soon. I have no intention of contesting that. I don't have the actions to contest it anyway. So maybe that's their plan. Play with a couple Swashbucklers on the Lost Arts and just rely on money from the treasure chest from here on out. I get a gold off this boon here, land a curse as well. I take the gold, it's a very good card. Considering I'm playing with a lot of draw exclusively almost. 6 here again could be a ranger, but I am gonna get a galley instead, which I think is a fine option here. I have only the two rangers in the deck, so I will want to get more soon. I just have to pick the time in which to do so. Pico Paco gets a ranger. A little bit surprised by that, but it's fine for them. Instead of playing the develop, they could play the ranger for plus buy. They don't actually have one in their deck, right? They have one in exile. So I'm able, luckily, to land the galley on the ranger. Even this idol, because I want to curse my opponent. They've trashed all their estates, which means their deck is basically treasure and draw cards. That means it's very easy for them to hit province. I don't like that. I want to put some purple cards in there to make it more difficult for them to hit province. So cursing is a priority now to prevent them from landing 8 every turn from here on out. So the idol gets stowed so that it'll come with its brother or sister next turn. I trash an estate to top deck a silver, and I get another galley here, leaving my investment in exile still. And another haven. The havens are good cards here. They're helpful. They're not crucial, but they're helpful. Okay, so a nice boon for Pico Paco. They have province money. Do they want it? I mean, that seems to be in line with what they did last turn. Will they take the province here? If they're thinking this long, they have some doubt, but they don't. Instead, they take a Swashbuckler. Part of that is because they want to build up to the treasure chest, right? So while they do have the 8, they don't want to spend that coffer because they want to get the treasure chest as quickly as possible. So for them, they were seeing just 7 coins, and they chose to take Swashbuckler. That is going to actually let me draw a heap of cards here, actually. Galley on develop could be a bit scary depending on the start in hand, but I'll take it. It should be fine. I can trash a little more quickly with that. I see almost all the cards in my deck. I get rid of an estate for a top deck silver. This boon is tremendous. Lets me get a ranger. And here is where I make an interesting play with the investment. I gain one ranger, right? And the reason why is because, well, I'm just going to gain a heap more and give them a huge hand size. Why am I doing this? Because what can they do with the huge hand? They can't do anything, I think. Or the worst case scenario, I know they have 1+5 from the ranger. Worst case, they hit double province. And maybe they develop something cutely. I think I could live with double province. I don't even think they could hit double province, but I think even if I'm wrong in my calculation or estimation somewhere, I don't think they could do anything to, put me in a bad position. And in exchange for giving them one big turn, I gain 4 rangers. So we'll see if that trade-off pays off for me here. They do get something nice with the develop. They turn a silver into a royal galley and a haven. That silver is an excellent target for develop here as well. They manage to put royal galley on swashbuckler. They get the plus buy, and as I estimated, they do not quite have double province yet, but they have single province, and they were able to set up a galley on the swashbuckler. They get another idol as well. So their ideal turn played out there because I basically put their deck in their hand. And this is what they were able to do with it, right? So now let's look at my side, right? What do I get from that that trade? Well, I lead with develop because I have to, and I top deck a galley and a haven. I would very much like the galleys. I managed to get 2 rangers on the galleys there, so that is going to be very good for next turn. And I'm even going to stow a ranger in this haven here for next turn. Now, I do have a heap of money, 14, more money than them. I think about province here, and I actually could go after the province here because of the curses that I'm landing, but I think I could build more. I still think I have time to build more here, so I am going to go ahead and do that. I build in the form of galley and a couple more idols. I'm not touching ranger for the rest of the game there. Why I'm not touching ranger? If I empty the ranger pile, it brings the game closer to an end, so I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to give them any more cards. I already gave them a big blowout, so that's all you're getting from me. So I do have to just manage the pile situation here. 2 rangers, 4 idols, 3 galleys, 5 havens, and make sure that I don't lose via pile out, because they will have a points lead here, obviously. This is going to be another province for them. They have 3 coffers. The treasure chest is coming soon. They even land a curse here. So we have to play very carefully. Again, we're, 16 points in deficit here. So we do need to be judicious in how we play from here on. All right, so heaps a draw from the ranger, which is very nice. Play that haven first to try to find that galley to pair with the ranger. We do, which is what we want. Develop. I will trash coppers here with the develop. I don't want to lower the havens or galleys anymore, and I'm thinning the deck for a purpose. The purpose is I'm going to replace these coppers with a couple of harems, well, 3 harems to be specific. I'm going for alternative victory points, right? I don't want to touch the provinces and, have that pile run out on me and lose that way. So I have a few extra points in the harems. It'll also improve my economic situation. So why not, right? Why not? I effectively turn the coppers into harems there. Pico Paco gets the treasure chest here, turn 14, so they will be rolling in gold soon enough, which means a province a turn is something we can reasonably expect from them at this point. They develop a silver, probably into galley and haven again. Actually, they take that back. Yeah, they don't want to play the develop at all. Okay, so right, because they want the money for the province. Developing the silver there would have forced them to use some coffers. I guess they wanted to keep the coffers on for a turn, probably to double province. All right, so they get another province, as we expect. Here are the army of rangers drawing through the deck here. We get almost all the way to the end, not quite. We develop the curse away. we get to land a couple more curses into their deck. The curse pile is also a pile that's running, right? So more reason why I don't want to empty the Rangers. And now I think, well, you have to score. I have up to triple province here, and this is, you know, decently reliable. So I take one province. I think one province is safe. They cannot triple, if I recall correctly. They only have the 1+ buy from the Ranger. But no, they have 2 Rangers, I think. So combined with the Galley, they have 3 buys. But if they buy 3 provinces, you know what, take the win. But I don't think they have the money for it. So I think we could safely leave 1 province. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe you build with duchies and harems here again. But I think now I could actually touch the province pile and pose a threat of my own to end the game. So 1 province for sure. Some number of duchies. Now duchies instead of harems because we want to score more heavily. Could be our last duchy here, but I want the embassy. I'm not drawing all the way through my deck, and the embassy will help me at least see all the treasure cards in my deck more than the swashbuckler. Draw 5, right? Discard 3. So that's why I put the embassy, and I don't care about giving them the extra silver because they have to go through 24 cards before they see that silver. Okay, so they have a decent turn here. They get to actually trigger their ranger to draw 5 cards and follow a swashbuckler and a royal galley. They get double province, so this is what they were saving their coffers for. They take the double province. All right, but no, this doesn't look that bad for me. I'm just 11 points behind, which is province, double duchy, and we win. And I just showed triple province, so we should be safe here as long as our rangers don't get buried at the bottom of the deck. So there's one of them here. I would like to find some more of them. He even doesn't find one. See, I have the embassy. If that was a duchy, we would be looking a little shaky here. But the embassy is going to be extremely helpful and find me my rangers. I do have also a play with develop. I could develop galley, which I'm not going to use. This is going to be the last turn of the game, so I could easily develop the galley into a duchy. And another 3 cost, maybe another develop, so I could develop another galley. But I'm not seeing the draw for that kind of thing. I'm not even seeing the develop, so you know, what am I saying? I even have to actually use this galley to go look for my develop. I do find it eventually, but with no galley targets. But I have the game in hand here, right? I just develop for a duchy and then buy out the rest of the points here. So a very interesting game with the invest. We gave them a huge hand that one turn, and it seems like the trade-off worked out in our favor. We take game 2. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.